Welcome to WordFest TV. We bring you the unpopular scriptural truths.
From scriptures, we find that tithing predates the laws of Moses. We find its practice deeply rooted in human history long before it was instituted in Israel. As a nation, the tithe was the 10th part of the produce of the land, herds, flocks, and spoils of war that was given to the priests before the Mosaic Law. Our opening text for this study is Leviticus 27 verse 30-33, and all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land, or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's, it is holy unto the Lord. And if a man will at all redeem out of his tithes, he shall add to it the 5th part thereof. And concerning the tithe of the herd, or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, the 10th shall be holy unto the Lord. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it, and if he change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy, it shall not be redeemed. This study seeks to enlighten the Christian as to what the Bible actually says on tithing in a comprehensive yet concise manner. We shall consider the various kinds of tithe in the law, what was given as tithe in the law, and the New Testament view. In the Pentateuch, we find the legislation of tithing in 3 forms. Firstly, the first tithe was given by the people to the Levites, from which the Levites were to give the 10th part of all the tithes received to the priest in the temple, because the tithes the Levites had received was reckoned as their inheritance in Israel. Numbers 18 verse 25-30, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, When ye take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them, for your inheritance, then ye shall offer up an heave offering of it for the Lord, even a 10th part of the tithe. And this your heave offering shall be reckoned unto you, as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winnowpress. Thus ye also shall offer an heave offering unto the Lord of all your tithes, which ye receive of the children of Israel. And ye shall give thereof the Lord's heave offering to Aaron the priest. Out of all your gifts ye shall offer every heave offering of the Lord, of all the best thereof, even the hallowed part thereof out of it. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, When ye have heaved the best thereof from it, then it shall be counted unto the Levites, as the increase of the threshing floor, and as the increase of the winnowpress. Secondly, after giving the first tithe, a second tithe was reserved and eaten by the offerer, his household, and the Levites in a place God had chosen to place his name. For people living at distant places, they were to convert their tithes to money upon arrival at the designated place, either Jerusalem. They were at liberty to buy whatever they pleased for feasting with their families and the Levites. Deuteronomy 14 verse 22-27. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed, that the field bringeth forth year by year. And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God, in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, the tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and of thy flock, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always, and if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God hath blessed thee, then shalt thou turn it into money, and bind up the money in thine hand, and shalt go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose, and thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, for oxen, or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatsoever thy soul desireth. And thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy God, and thou shalt rejoice, thou, and thine household, and the Levite that is within thy gates. Thou shalt not forsake him, for he hath no part nor inheritance with thee. Thirdly, in the 3rd year, the second tithe was wholly given to the poor. This tithe was given to the poor and the Levites in the 3rd year, known as the year of tithing. It is only after the tithe of the 3rd year, where the tithe of the poor was given, that the giver was to pray to God for the blessing. Deuteronomy 26 verse 12-15. When thou hast made an end of tithing all the tithes of thine increase the 3rd year, which is the year of tithing, and hast given it unto the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, that they may eat within thy gates, and be filled. Then thou shalt say before the Lord thy God, I have brought away the hallowed things out of mine house, and also have given them unto the Levite, and unto the stranger, to the fatherless, and to the widow, according to all thy commandments which thou hast commanded me. I have not transgressed thy commandments, neither have I forgotten them. I have not eaten thereof in my mourning, neither have I taken away aught thereof for any unclean use, nor given aught thereof for the dead, but I have hearkened to the voice of the Lord my God, and have done according to all that thou hast commanded me. Look down from thy holy habitation, from heaven, and bless thy people Israel, and the land which thou hast given us, as thou swarest unto our fathers, a land that floweth with milk and honey. We find what they gave as tithe. From Leviticus chapter 27, and all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land, or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's, it is holy unto the Lord. And if a man will at all redeem out of his tithes, he shall add to the fifth part thereof. And concerning the tithe of the herd, or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, the tenth shall be holy unto the Lord. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it, and if he change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy, it shall not be redeemed. Leviticus 27 verse 30-33. 1. Tithes of the produce of the land. The 10th part of the harvest of the land was given as tithe. 2. Tithes of herds and flocks. As the herds and flocks passed out to pasture they were counted, and every 10th animal was reckoned holy unto God and given as tithe. Notice that no mention of money was made except for the redemption of the tithe, and only the tithes of the produce of the land could be redeemed with money, and a 5th part of the value was to be added to it, but the tithes of herd and flocks could not be changed. An attempt to do so would result into giving the actual tithe, plus the one with which it was to be changed, as both were considered holy. Please note that the laws of Moses generally was instituted with the blessing attached to its observance, and a curse when violated. This was also applicable to the law of tithing. We find a typical example of this in Malachi chapter 3. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Ye are cursed with a curse. For ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Not giving the tithe under the law amounted to a curse, whilst giving the tithe brought a blessing. We believe you are blessed by this study. Please do well to send in your questions and feedbacks. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video. Please see the part 2 on the New Testament view on tithing in our next video.